Broadcasting live from the EBSN online studios in Columbus, Ohio. It's Silver and Blue Nation, the voice of diehard Dallas Cowboy fans. Now, here are your hosts, Big Game James and Producer G.
What up, everybody? Silver and Blue Nation. I got the new mic. You see, I got the adjustable mic. I'm moving up in the world, folks. I'm moving up in the world. Silver and Blue Nation, Big Game James, Producer G. You see the good opening like we always do.
What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. We're the voice of the fans.
The voice of the fans.
Let's go ahead and thank some people who's jumped in with our Facebook live feed so far. We got Zachary Ryan in here. What's going on? Donta Terry, Eric Doxson. Thanks for joining us as usual. Kenny Fuentes, we appreciate you tuning in. And everybody who's on our YouTube feed as well, Real Dallas Cowboys fan in there, we appreciate you checking us out today. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday. We're going to be talking some Cowboys football.
What up, everybody? We're going to be talking Cowboys football. It's been another interesting week once again with the Cowboys. Draft is right around the corner. That's going to be actually, Thursday, the draft, and
Yep.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 days.
Yep.
I will be out there I will be out there Wednesday. Got a little show that we're going to be doing with Law, Okoye, Fuss the King, and Mark Holmes, and possibly Mike Fisher might be out there. That's just who we'll see what happens with that if I can jump
Where's
in.
that show going to be?
That might be that's going to be at Mike Fisher's bar. I believe that's on Wednesday.
Where's it going to be on to watch?
I'll find that out for you.
Maybe the Dallas Prospects page?
Maybe maybe Law Nations page. I would say probably it might be Law Nations.
Either
page.
way, check them all out. We'd appreciate that.
And then Thursday, DDP, he's going to call in. He's going to push to Mexico. I'll be down there for Thursday for the show, 6:30, Mexico Live, me, Law Nation, DDP, Computer from 3-6 Mafia once again, giving our little breakdown and see who the Cowboys going to draft in that possible first round. We see what's going to happen. It's going down again. We'll be out there in the Texas land, my hometown, 817, baby.
There it is. What's up, Stephen Arthur, KG Gist,
Why?
Joe Abragan,
My thing is buffering. It's making
El
me mad.
Campa, Lowly. We appreciate you. Shout out from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Thanks for tuning in from all the way out there.
Yes, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Annette's in there with us.
Which one are you in?
Dallas Prospect. I'm on Silver and Blue Nation Facebook Live.
I'm jumping.
And speaking of that, we're streaming all over the place. We're on EBSN Online,
I'm jumping.
Phantom Sports. We're on Law Nation's Facebook. We're on the Dallas Prospects Facebook.
You know what I'm saying? We worldwide.
We're on YouTube right now on Silver and Blue Nation, so make sure you go and subscribe to us there as well
Okay.
to see all of our content.
Okay.
Annette, appreciate you tuning in as always. Make sure you guys give us a like and a share on this video. Share us into the groups. I got put into Facebook jail just before the show, so I can't really do it. I need some help from you guys.
So share it, because they're trying to hate on us. I don't know why they hate on us. We're just showing good Cowboy love. Everybody want to talk about Cowboys football, whether you love us or hate us. You will tune in and turn in to them Cowboys. That's why they're America's team.
I wish I had that queued up, but
I sounded kind of good. I didn't give all the passion that Irv did, but I still gave it. And if you're checking this out, hey, DDP, are you watching Taco Charlton? I wore the jersey because I'm letting you know I'm going to get on that article. I've been delaying and slaying and not getting on it, but I'm going to be on it. So I just want to bring out Taco because he is not a bust. He's going to do something this year.
We will see. So big show today. We got Tyson, the West Coast Cowboy, calling in later
What
to
up?
talk about his experience when he interviewed Noah Brown and Kayvon Frazier, so
Yes,
that'll be pretty cool.
That'll be pretty cool.
Dallas Prospect will be giving us a call.
You can call in now, Dallas, if you
What's
want.
up, Patrick
Later,
Johnson
later,
and
later,
Tim
later.
and Michael Blitz. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's start jumping into it now. The schedule was released this week. As you can see it right now on your screen if you're watching. What's your takeaway from the schedule right here? I like how the bye week's right in the middle.
I like how we didn't play the damn Giants in the week one. I love going to Carolina week one because we need to go down there and see Mama T. We need to go to that game. Facts. We need to get to that game. I'm getting to that game. I don't know what hell. Well, we're going to see you, Mama T, and if you're on here, we're going to get down there, and you better have some food ready. We've been talking about it for the last damn year about getting that food, so you better get it ready. Week one at Carolina, have our food ready, and now your boy Switz better turn up. He's going to be in Carolina, turn up. So I love going against Carolina that week one. That's going to be And then we got the weak Giants. And come on, Dez, I seen you working with OBJ and doing all your blah, blah, blah. That's okay, Dez. Get with them Giants because we watched that All or Nothing. We seen Jordan Lewis. And I hope he's guarding you, and I hope he gets at you.
We got 5 primetime games here, and one of those is the Week 2 matchup you just spoke about.
Yeah.
At home against the Giants, Sunday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all. We always are in the prime light. You know, that's how the Dallas Cowboys roll.
I love playing them Seahawks again.
Real quick shout out to Michael Steven on YouTube.
What up,
Brian? Xavier Giles and Ron Smith. Appreciate you guys tuning in over there on YouTube.
Yo.
You can check us out everywhere. Appreciate
What's
you guys
up?
watching. Let's just run down it then. So we had Week 2 at home against the Giants, Sunday Night Football. Then Week 3
at the Seahawks.
To the Seahawks.
We're gonna beat them.
Think so?
Yes, because we lost on the last few years, and we barely lost.
Should have had them last year.
We should have had them the year before, even when we had sorry-ass Matt Castle. We only lost 10-9. Remember, they beat us in the last seconds again. So both games, we should have beat them. We're going to go into – so I'm just giving my record. I said 10-6. So at Carolina, we're going to beat Carolina. We're going to beat them Giants. We're going to beat the Seahawks. We're going to start 3-0. I think we might slip up against them Lions, though.
I like that. Whoa. What?
I just feel like we might, because we might look past them.
Detroit?
I just feel like we might slip past them.
It's a 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, this might be snoozy because we smelling ourselves. We 3-0.
Really, it's a 12 o'clock game if you're in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And, the Cowboys haven't had the best home field advantage over the years.
Yeah.
Any game I've gone to there, they've lost.
Yeah, I'm just saying. And then you come in with at the Texans. I'm sorry.
Another primetime game. That'll be another Sunday Night Football game.
At Houston.
At Houston, Deshaun Watson.
I just think.
And, I see people in the comments here going with some predictions
What
for
up,
the
Patrick?
record.
What up, everybody?
Michael says 11-5 and maybe 10-6.
I said 10-6.
I'm thinking about it like this. We don't know what's going to happen yet. We could still get Earl Thomas. Seattle could lose Earl Thomas. That would really hurt them. A lot of stuff still to happen with the draft.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Patrick O'Brien? What's going on, Dallas Peppers? James Lyles, Dana over here in the Facebook Live for Silver and Blue Nation. Brian.
Everybody's looking at that 11-5, 10-6. Everybody thinks that's what I'm looking at 10-6. Like we should have been it last year.
Too, yeah.
I was 11-5 last year. We should have been that. We shouldn't have lost it. We gave away a few games. Did we not?
We did. I mean, several games.
We gave away several games.
Green Bay and St. Louis are the ones that stand out.
And that damn Atlanta game, too. We should have beat them bums, too.
Yeah, that one they got handled pretty good. But the other games, though, we had the lead late.
Yes.
Should have closed them out.
I mean, hell, we was beating Philly first.
Well, that defense didn't gel until late in the season.
Yeah.
So if we had that same type of D early on, we might have held on to those games.
We should.
If anyone's watching on Facebook Live, make sure you guys jump over to the Silver and Blue Nation Facebook Live page.
Up, Tyler?
Watch us there because that's where we're watching all the comments. So if you're going to comment, and that's where we'll see it. Tim Tenyek says 12-4. Tyler Saunders, what's going on? Dana said 13-3. So a lot of optimism here
because it's the even year. We said it last year. We said it that Garrett always does good in the even years.
The pattern, yeah.
That's the pattern. Odd years he fails. The even years he does good. So this is the even year. We're going to bounce back anyway. The offense is going to be good. Zeke is going to be back. Zeke is going to be on a mission. Coming. We got the draft coming. I think Dak is going to be better. I'm telling you that Dak Switzer. I posted a picture because Dallas had the little camp where they had the guys at the Star. But I'm telling you that Dak Ryan Switzer connection is going to be something nasty this year.
Yeah, they seem to have some chemistry.
They got chemistry.
The field. We've seen them in a video earlier in the offseason.
They was one of those guys at the wedding.
So let's just go on and keep covering the schedule real quick. We got Week 6 coming back home against Jacksonville. So the pattern so far for the first 6 weeks is road, home, road, home, road, home. So we're back at home. Then we're going on the road again the next week at Washington. So that's a W. That's a pretty crazy pattern.
That's crazy how we don't play the Eagles until Week 10, though. We don't play the Eagles till Week 10.
Yeah, so they're going to cram both games right there at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Week 8. That's the bye week, so right there in the middle of the season. Then you're going to start your second half at home against Tennessee, and that'll be another primetime game.
Mm-hmm.
Marcus Mariota, we know that could be trouble.
But we need to see that game because I'm ready. It's good because we'll be able to see the young guns. You'll see Dak going against
It'd be a good
Deshaun Watson, right? The comparison has been against those two, haven't they? Then you're going to get to finally see Dak going against Mariota. Hasn't there been a comparison? I know I've been comparing them because everybody's been dogging Dak, but let's look at Mariota. Well, he played like trash last year. Just because they get to the playoffs, they give him a pass.
I mean, these are all guys that are a young crop of quarterbacks that we're naming off here. Everybody basically like 4 to 5 years or less.
Jameis Winston again.
Yep, there's another
because
one.
he was right around us. So I want him to see it play against those guys again because I just want Dak to be able to prove himself this year.
Guess what? He's going to be seeing Tampa Bay on the schedule as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
He's going to be playing all these young guys this year. So then moving on, we've got another primetime game right after that at Philadelphia. So reverse that from last season where it was primetime in Dallas. Here we go, primetime at Philadelphia. So a chance for really, I guess, to win 2 in a row. I was going to say redemption, but we got them the last game of the season last year.
Mm-hmm.
Then there we go with the second road game at Atlanta.
We need to get that revenge because that was some BS. There's some bums.
Why are we going to them twice in a row?
I don't know how they get the luck where we get to play them at home twice, but at the end of the day, Eric Macklin, if you're listening, you're a Falcons fan. If you please listen to this show, we're going to come in here and whoop y'all ass next time. You escaped, but we're going to beat you.
Before we finish up the schedule, Dana's Brining's asking us where can we see the All or Nothing. I don't think it's been released yet.
It hasn't been released yet. It's going to be on the Amazon
We're
Prime.
going to talk about that here soon, maybe right after this.
Right.
So keep tuning in. Keep sharing the video, liking it. Keep commenting with us. We appreciate everybody. We're going to start looking at the comments in a few minutes. Right now, we're just kind of covering the schedule. If you're just joining us, Silver and Blue Nation Live Podcast. We're streaming on EBSN Online and several different Facebook Live platforms and YouTube as well. And if you missed anything from the show, you can listen back on iTunes, Google Play, and SoundCloud. So make sure you go subscribe there as well. So moving on in the schedule, after the Atlanta game, we're back home, and that's not the Thanksgiving. I think Thanksgiving's at 20. No, that it will be the Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because it's the Redskins.
So we'll have Redskins at home for Thanksgiving. Yep.
Right. And we're going to beat them too.
So we had back-to-back road games for the first time, and now back-to-back home games. Actually, we're going to get 3 in a row. So then the next Thursday, so that'll be another primetime game. So you're talking 6 primetime games out of your 16. That's pretty big.
I mean, Dallas always gets the damn primetime games. If we're any kind of a good team, everybody wants to see Zeke again because he's going to have a full season. Everybody wants to see what's going to happen with Dak Prescott. Everybody wants to watch Dallas now because we don't have Dez Bryant. Everybody wants to see what's going to happen with Dallas because they don't have Dez Bryant. Everybody wants to see what happens with who we draft in the draft. So it's the Dallas Cowboys. You want to watch us. We're always talked about in the news. We're always in the media. So you're going to want to watch some games, and every game is going to probably be one of the highest rating of the year, and that's just a mother-sucking fact.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
And then we follow that up with a Sunday game against Philadelphia at home.
Right.
And then on the road at Indianapolis, Silver and Blue Nation will be there for sure.
Damn sure we'll be at that game.
3 straight 1 o'clock games to close out the season, then back at home against Tampa Bay, and then finish up the season at the Giants.
The midgets.
So, yeah, I mean, kind of a crazy schedule here. You only get back-to-back home games one time throughout the season.
That's crazy.
And that's a 3-game stretch over Thanksgiving.
But let's be honest. When we went 12-4 in 2014, where were we on the road? Undefeated. We always played. We were a road team that year.
They've always had a weak home field.
We've always had a weak home field advantage, and definitely as of late, we always seem to play better on the road when the odds are against us and stacked against us. It seems like we always play better. So bring on the damn road games, because whenever I play Madden or whenever I play 2K, I always want to play the opponent at their house because it feels better when I go into your house and beat the hell out of you.
Because then you really know you're better.
Then I know I'm better.
Real Dallas Cowboy fan over here on our YouTube channel says, asking Big Game James, what do you think our record will be?
Oh, 10-6. I'm staying right now. I'm gonna stay with the 10-6. I went 11-5 last year.
Do you have an idea of like the teams that they may lose to?
Yeah. Just by looking at it, I think the Saints might catch us. I think we'll lose once against the Eagles. The Titans I think the Titans will get us. The Texans, how many is that? Saints, Titans, Eagles, Texans, Lions, and
maybe the Giants won?
Maybe the Giants won. I'll get the Giants won. Probably like the last home game of the season.
So you think we'll split with the Eagles and Giants?
I think we'll split with the Eagles and Giants. Sweep Redskins.
So 4-2.
Mm-hmm. 4-2 in the division.
Division winners.
Division winners.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the schedule, folks. Hopefully you enjoyed the preview of the schedule, the quick review that was just released last week. So before we move on, I got to get to a couple other comments. Floyd Hope wants to know where you got your Taco Charlton shirt.
Actually, I got it in. I'm in Ohio, so I got it out here in a little. I'm gonna keep it real. I got a little spot. You feel me? Like the little spots where they got the Nikes on the low. You feel me? I got it from one of them joints.
Okay. So there you go, Floyd. There's your answer.
There's your answer. I got it from one of them joints.
Jop Young, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Mama T says she's not feeling good but watching anyway. So
we love you
that.
still
That's
tuning
huge.
in, Mama T.
If you're sick and you still want to
you.
watch us, that's huge.
That makes me feel special inside.
Richard Turner, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in.
What's up, Richard Turner? We talked the last couple of days. He jumped on me on the Vander Esch pick. I said, don't pick him at 19. I think this guy said, hey, I'm cool with it. I said, watch the tape. That's all I said, Richard. Just watch the tape.
About the guy from Boise State.
Boise State, we're not doing 19 any longer with those guys.
So give us a like and a share if you just joined us. You like the video. We're going to go ahead and get into some other topics here. Throw some comments at us. We'll shout you out.
And shout you out.
We'll get to anything you guys want to talk about as well. And we'll also open up the phone line here shortly.
Yes,
we'll go rapid fire so you guys can just call in if you want.
And don't be long. It's rapid fire. Like Jop Young. Jop Young is the perfect person that does rapid fire.
I'll hang up and let you guys talk.
I got the question. Here it is. I'll hang up and let you guys talk. That's how we want it done here for rapid fire.
And then there it is. So once we open that up, feel free to jump in on that. Don't be shy.
What up, everybody? Don't be shy.
Jump in with your comments.
Jump in with them comments.
This is a platform for you guys, voice of the fans.
Hell yeah.
That's why we're the nation, Silver and Blue Nation.
Nation.
Well, David Irving, he just signed the restricted tender for $2.9 million for the 1 year. Will he end up getting a long-term deal with the Cowboys, or do you think it's just going to be a 1-year lease?
I think he is.
A long-term?
I think he's going to be long-term. They just they had another signing we'll talk about later, but it kind of flexibility where they could kind of possibly franchise him. From what I've always been hearing is David Irving never wants to leave the Cowboys. He wants to be a Cowboy. I think the biggest thing what they've been worried about with David Irving is the effort, the goofiness, the dedication. If they could get him to fully dedicate, he's a monster. We don't need to lose David Irving. We took all this time and invested and got him from the Kansas City Chiefs. We put this time into him. We can't let him just walk and go somewhere else. As much as, we like that draft pick and it's good, it's an uncertain thing. You don't know what's going to happen with that draft pick. And you got a 6'7" tree man at 290 that is awesome.
And still young.
He was at 303. He can experiment in his weight. He's a
beast.
He looks like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Get the guy on the field, sign him. Let's make that a happy marriage and keep building this defense and make it so damn nasty. It's right there, G.
He plays defensive tackle. He plays on the ends. I mean, he's just a monster, and he's disruptive no matter what. Even when he's not getting sacks, he's still extremely
what? Did he got
disruptive.
7 sacks in, 8 games?
Just a beast.
That's crazy.
Dana's asking about Tyson, the West Coast Cowboy. If you missed it earlier, Tyson, we're going to have him calling in here.
Yeah, Dana, just tune in for that.
About 20 minutes or so.
Yes, sir.
He'll talk about his experience when he got the interview wide receiver Noah Brown and safety
I got a question.
Kayvon Frazier, so he'll be able to tell us about that. People are wanting to talk about all or nothing, so I promised that, and then I went to David Irving. So
that's all good. We can,
let's jump into all or nothing real quick. So if you missed it, there were some clips released from the new series that's coming out on Amazon Prime. It's an original for them, so it's some kind of deal they had with the Cowboys. It's based on last season, right?
Based on last season, yes.
Last season. So it kind of gives you some insight of what the coaches went through, the players throughout the season.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some clips, and the one that I seen that you shared, and I shared it too after you did, was Jason Garrett dropping a ton of F-bombs in a meeting.
Right.
And so I wanted to know, to you and everyone out there, did this Jason Garrett clip change the way you looked at him? If you didn't see it, go check it out on the Silver and Blue Nation or the Big Game James page.
Honestly, it didn't change how I feel about him, but it made me look in a different light. Well, maybe he does yell, okay? Because if you don't see it behind the closed doors, if you're not around it, you only see what they want you to see. So you probably think, and how many times have we heard Spagnola and those guys say, hey, Garrett tears into them guys. You're like, man, yeah, right. Garrett don't be saying jack poo to them guys. You know what I'm saying? So then when you actually see that clip where he's actually going ham on them dudes and actually tell them they suck and they effing up and y'all playing like trash.
Basically saying what we said.
Basically what we saying in there. And the biggest thing that I took from it when he said that was it can't be about Sean Lee and freaking David Irving?
Right, DeMarcus Lawrence.
Can't be about them two. Y'all just can't lean on them two guys to freaking lead everything. I do like that. But at the end of the day, I love seeing that. That opened my eyes to another side of Garrett. But at the end of the day, 8 years, you still ain't got to the NFC Championship. You still ain't won a Super Bowl. So you can yell and scream all the hell you want with them F-bombs. I will give you a little more props, but you still need to win. F-bombs them all the way to the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl this year, and then I'm going to really like you, okay? Other than that, I'm going to say you're just an average guy.
For me, it made me feel like maybe you could take some of the blame off of him because everybody blames him for being the soft clapper. Everybody says? Clapper.
Yes.
That's what everybody talks about. So when you see something like that, you're like, maybe he's not just a clapper. But I would think that he would, when players talk about they ignore the outside noise, they must really ignore it because that's, our perception of him is the clapping thing.
Wouldn't you, though?
So he doesn't care.
Think about it, though, G. If you're a player and you're in the locker room and you got all your guys, are you really listening to all the outside crap? Because it's a bond. I mean, I play sports. You play sports. When you're playing on a football team, when you're in that locker room, that is cherished in there. Like, you're supposed to keep everything within that locker room. Y'all supposed to be brothers up in there. So you don't listen to the outside because the outside is always going to try to tear you down because the outside doesn't know what the hell is really going on. They just perceive what's going on just like we perceive what's going on, but we don't know until we are back there seeing that stuff every day.
I seen one with Jason Witten too, where he's dropping the F-bombs. I'm like, man, these guys.
I mean, they're grown men. You don't think they're not gonna?
You
think they're not gonna cuss?
Well, they're just different. You see them as button-up guys.
Right.
Like they're model citizens. They always do the right thing, and which I'm not saying they're doing the wrong thing, but cursing is looked at as bad, especially for children, things like that. So just to see him dropping all them F-bombs and Garrett getting fired up like that and telling them that they're no good and calling them out in front of those players, and those players are probably sitting in the room. That's probably a little awkward for them.
Scandrick sitting in the back.
I'm thinking, like, how does Sean Lee and DeMarcus Lawrence feel when he says that? They're sitting there, like, just quiet. Like,
you would feel like any other player, just like you got to be accountable. Just what he's saying, you have to be accountable. But if we're going to be accountable, make sure them head coaches are accountable. Make sure you're yelling at Scott Linehan. Let's make sure we get some all or nothing where you're sitting in there yelling at Scott Linehan like, what the hell was this when we didn't adjust when Chaz Green was getting his ass kicked and got Dak Prescott killed for 7 sacks and made freaking Claiborne look like an all-star wrecking ball when he is actually very, very average. You get what I'm saying? I want to see that one when he's tearing into Scott Linehan. Don't just tear it into the players. Tear into them damn coaches because they're not doing their job. And let's tear into you. Can I hear some Stephen Jones talking to Jason Garrett like, what the hell is going on? Why we keep doing the same thing? That's what I want to hear too.
Yeah, I would like to see him yelling at maybe like the other coaches like that for sure. Mm-hmm. You want to give some shout-outs and stuff for a second?
Yeah, let me get some shout-outs. I didn't catch everybody in here, so let me get a shout-out if I have, please. Let me see. I got Annette, Dana, Job, Michael, Eric Dobson. I didn't say the last name because I just know y'all. I'm sorry. James Lyles, Mama T, Nelly, Herrera, Gilbert, Richard Turner, Juwan James, Brian Fitzgerald, Jesse and Chelsea Martinez, Rabu Love Porter. I like that name.
Any good comments in there?
We got hella comments in here. Dallas Prospect. He said 7 straight weeks without a Sunday home game. He keeps on saying that, so I thought I'd make sure to say that. Marcy L. Shabazz just says, what's up? You know what I mean? So a lot of people just kind of flowing off our comments. Not really a lot of questions, which is cool. I think it's just a lot of people just kind of flowing off what we're talking about with our all or nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did see a different side of Garrett, which I wanted to see, but at the same time, you still have to win. And to me, this is a year you have to. We're going to talk about a little something else. I'm going to bring up a little scenario. I want to see what you think about it. I'm going to bring it up a little later, though.
When we talk about what?
When we talk about just with the coaching, what would you think?
Well, hold on. Just hold that thought for a sec and just make sure you bring it back up.
Okay.
So Byron Jones has officially moved to cornerback, correct?
Correct. He says Chris Richard put him there day one.
And the Cowboys decided that they will pick up the 5th-year option.
Yeah, $6.1 million, I think.
So is Byron Jones going to be the starter on the outside at cornerback this year? You think he's going to kind of just rotate, or what do you think is going to happen there? Is he going to start?
I don't know. I can't honestly answer that because he's a good cornerback. We all have been. A lot of people have been saying it. I said it a long time ago that he needed to be corner. I didn't see the safety traits. I saw more cornerback traits. So it's going to be a battle. I hope they don't get pigeonholed and put Jordan Lewis on the inside because of his size, because I think he's an outside corner. It's going to be a battle because we're going to see what happens with Cheeto. You can flex him out at safety too. You got Xavier Woods who played in the slot. Got a lot of different combinations, and I like that we got a lot of different combinations in the secondary. You still got your kid Marquez White coming off the practice squad that you can use him in his length. He got a whole year, got to get built up, get stronger, 6'1", good size. So it's going to be a lot of competition. So for me to say Byron Jones is going to be the starting outside corner, I cannot say that because it's going to be some good battles up in there. And I know they're going to draft at least one, maybe two corners. And people forget we had another kid, Duke Thomas, that tore up his Achilles. He was going to make the team playing from Texas. He was good size. Duke Thomas is 6'1". He's coming back in the fold too, and he was going to make the team, and he was going to play a lot. So we have some good cornerbacks in the fold. We'll see.
I think I like Byron Jones in the slot, playing the slot
Me
corner.
too.
But I feel like, personally, if it was up to me, we could trade him. That's what I'd rather do because I just feel like he's never shown enough to be valuable at all.
But I think this will be the year where he will show his value. If you really just can keep him at corner, don't leave him anywhere else. And I told you what I want to see. I would like to see Cheeto and Lewis stay on the outside and him in the slot and have him as the Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie type position where he played in the slot with the Giants. And you saw Jackrabbit out there on the outside at the little corner because he was just so much better. And you saw everybody was like, man, he's 6'2", but he shut down those receivers in the slot. You could not get past him. And Jones is sticky in the slot. He had great percentages in the Pro Football Focus. I know in the slot he was shutting people down.
Yeah, I liked him covering tight ends and stuff like that when he was safety. Playing in the slot, like we said, I didn't like him deep.
Mm-hmm.
Dana's asking, he says, what do you guys think about the new defensive end that we signed? I'm not sure which one.
Coney Ely?
Is that the one?
Probably Coney Ely.
We'll bring him up in a minute then.
Okay.
So, Dana, just stay tuned in. We will get to that. Keep that question in mind, and if I forget, just comment again, and I'll try to get it up. Because we have a good segue right here to the next topic.
Okay.
I seen you post something about a trade scenario where Byron Jones could go to Seattle for Earl Thomas in a first-round pick or something like that, right?
No, what it was is ESPN did this, and I told them they were smoking some good chronic because they were saying that we give up our first, our third, a fourth, I think, and Byron Jones. And I was like, they're talking crazy for Earl Thomas, and I think.
But Byron Jones was involved.
But Byron Jones was involved. Now, if they were to give up Byron Jones for Earl Thomas and like a third, I wouldn't be mad at that at all. Because it's not like we're going to cry the blues if Byron Jones leaves us and you get Earl Thomas for that cheap. That's a hell of a trade if we can maneuver something like that.
That's what I was saying. Like, me personally, Byron Jones can go if it's up to me. He's more of a liability than good in my mind.
I think he's good. If we just keep him at corner, he's good. But I wouldn't, like I said, he's not so valuable to where he's untradeable. If something is out there good and you can throw something out there and throw him in the mix and get some good quality player like a Earl Thomas backing up, yeah, do that.
Wait till we see him a step behind his receivers, and we're going to be complaining that he should have been gone.
We'll see.
It's year 4. He would have shown something by now. I just haven't seen enough to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I was segueing to, would you rather trade for Earl Thomas or trade up and draft Derwin James? Or maybe you don't have to trade up. I don't know. I seen Okoye put out a mock draft, and he had the Cowboys landing Derwin James at 19. So
yeah.
I don't know if that would happen.
I think Vach did too. Vach Lombardi had him getting it. I don't think he would drop that low, but we never know in the draft because we've seen time and time again it falls. If those quarterbacks start falling crazy, that's when it changes everything in the draft. I think it depends on how them quarterbacks fall in this draft. If people start hitting them quarterbacks heavy, it changes how everybody starts thinking in the rest of the draft. And then you can see somebody like a Derwin James who could have been higher drop lower, not because he's not one of those high-rated players. It's just how they start picking in the draft. So it's all how people pick in the draft. To answer your question, Earl Thomas or Derwin James?
Let me ask you again because I want to ask people in the comment too, and I want them to put their answer there. Would you rather have Earl Thomas or Derwin James? So now you can answer that.
Derwin James. I'm sorry. I love Earl Thomas, and dude, he's nasty. I think 2-3 years, and yes, he would change our defense. But I'm sorry. I've always been with the young guy. Even though I'm an older guy, I have that young spirit. I always like the rookies when they come in and play. I always like the young guys because I feel like when you get one of those young, nasty players, they change the whole complexion of your team, and you're going to have them for a long time. So I think really is the age is really the big factor for me. A little bit of the size, but Earl Thomas is nasty. But I just feel like if you got Derwin James, maybe you don't know what you're going to get with any of these players, but I would take Derwin James in that scenario. If I said it earlier with Earl Thomas, I'm sorry. I changed my mind, and I'm allowed to.
I was hoping you would say Earl Thomas because I think Derwin James as well. And the reason is because what the cow – I know just some good comments we're about to get to them. Let me just tell you why I would go with Derwin James as well. Because the Cowboys have been doing a process over the last, 6-7 years now. I'd say going back to when Jason Garrett took over, really. Mm-hmm. There's been a new process where they're not signing veterans and they're drafting young guys and cheap free agents to fill holes until that position's filled by a young guy that they draft.
Right.
So I want to trust the process, and I believe that drafting Derwin James will be a part of that process. You're getting a young guy, like you just said everything right there. He's young and can play in the future. And I do love Earl Thomas' Super Bowl pedigree and his leadership. That's what I love the most about him,
mm-hmm.
but
I want to trust the process.
Youth.
You just can't give up that youth. And DDP wants to holler at us. He said whenever.
I'm going to trust the process. All right, we actually got Tyson calling in too, so we're going to get – I'm going to work on those phone calls in just a second.
All right.
Let me give you something to talk about because Brian Fitzgerald in our Facebook Live comment put a nice comment in here that no one's talking about that I've seen.
Okay.
Why hasn't Odell Beckham Jr. been suspended yet? There's videos of him with possible blunt and coke.
I don't know. I can't answer that question.
Do you think he should be suspended? Let's say
that. I mean, how can you suspend him? How can you?
Well, imagine if you seen Zeke doing that.
Okay, but I'm saying you're suspending somebody over a possible picture. It was no guaranteed.
Well, there
picture.
Probably has to be an investigation.
I mean, that's just like you investigating Dak Prescott when they possibly say he had a blunt too, and it would look like a Black and Mild. So you're gonna investigate some people because they're trying to set up people. I mean, yeah. It looked like it, but you don't know. So what the NFL is just going to say, oh, we saw you on TV and it's something that looked like a blunt. So instant drug test, you can't do that. They're not doing that. They're not doing that.
Well, then let me just ask you what would happen if that was Zeke.
I mean, if it was Zeke, it probably would be. They would go hard at him because of what happened prior. Once you get something over top of your head, and if you play for the Cowboys, we know this. If you're a high-profile player, you play for the Cowboys, and if you do something stupid, you're getting watched more than anybody else, and that's just the daggone facts about it. That's just the price you pay if you play with the Cowboys. Any high team like that, you're going to get looked at. Pittsburgh Steelers, New England Patriots, they get the same type of look, but it's the Dallas Cowboys. So, yes, it would have looked at different to Zeke, but he still shouldn't get an automatic drug test because, what a picture you saw. No, you can't do that.
If people are trying to call in right now, we have not opened the phone line, so we're getting ready to get Tyson in here with us. So the phone line will be shut down for a little bit while he's on the line, but we're going to open it up for rapid fire probably around 4:30. So if you guys want to get your comments or questions ready for that segment, we'd appreciate it. And just a second, we'll get Tyson in here with us. If you want to shout out some new people that might just be tuning in.
Harold, what's up, Harold? I got Steven, Arthur. I think Brian. I didn't get to see Brian, but yeah. Eric Dawson, Jop. I don't get his job. Shout out Jesse Gonzalez, Jawan James, Michael Blitz Hibbert. I think that's so far that just jumped back in. So what's up to y'all who just maybe be joining in or coming in? But I think the sentiment when we were talking about the Derwin James and Earl Thomas, I'm looking in the comments, and a lot of people are agreeing with going with Derwin James. I think the biggest thing that shines out in everybody's mind is he's young. And if you just watch the tape, the kid he just looks like that guy. He just looks like that guy. When he lays the boom on somebody, he jumps up and everybody will be, you know what I'm saying? Them players. There's just some certain players, they lay the boom on you, they hit you, they tackle you, they make a big interception. The whole team just gets up and just changes when that player. I think Derwin James can be that player. And if he were to get with us, man, our defense, and we could get maybe another good defensive tackle, maybe late. I was talking about the Shepherd kid, maybe a B.J. Hill, get a solid maybe linebacker or two, a corner, a tight end. We would be okay getting that kind of draft, and we would be looking very good. It would be up to the coaching staff to take us to the promised land because we damn sure got the talent.
All right, it's the time Dana's been waiting for, everybody. We got our guy
he
in
said
here.
that.
we got our guy in here who had exclusive interviews with Kayvon Frazier and Noah Brown and Tyson, the West Coast Cowboys, on the line. What's going on, sir?
West Coast. How y'all doing today, man? Thank you guys for having me on the show, man. I appreciate, I always appreciate hanging out with you guys, man.
Hey, Tyson, before you say anything, I got a rule right quick because you go hard. You go hard in the paint. You go long-winded. I need you because we're about to have a rapid fire. I need you to tell me about your experience with Noah Brown, talking to them, interviewing him, and Kayvon Frazier. Give me that in a little synopsis. You like that word I just brought in. It was banging. Give me a little synopsis of how that happened.
Shoot, man, just working, man, working and building relationships. Over in my past page, Dallas Cowboys Scouting, we really thrive on trying to get out to events and knowing these players, and we try to, do a lot to help them. All these players have charity events and have different.
What happened?
I don't know.
Different things, and a lot of it unseen and out, but they appreciate West Coast and they appreciate Cowboys Scouting because I think a lot of their charity events we post it out there and we get it there so that people get a lot of variety and stuff like that. So just because of that, it's it has some doors with searches just with certain players. Yesterday was just an example of that. Boy, Kayvon Frazier came out, and I got the full interview up on my page and on YouTube. It's pretty much everywhere you can see it. And just asked him some real general questions, but some questions kind of got in depth a little bit. Some people that, some things that he was kind of talking about just as far as, what he's working on. And one thing that he said that he's really, really working on is dispelling the rumor that he can't cover.
Mm-hmm.
He let it be known that, he was a fifth round draft. He was projected to be a fifth round. He said on his draft day, he was actually getting calls around the fourth to fifth round. But a lot of people were staying away from him because he had a foot problem. He had an issue with his foot. That was kind of undisclosed, but he said he was just so happy when the Cowboys did finally call him in the sixth. But he said, for whatever reason, there's this huge rumor out there about him not being able to cover. And if you go to that, we're going to have some stuff up on our page later on. We're going to help him dispel that rumor. But you look on our page, we have some stuff from that Redskins game and also from that Seahawks preseason game. Obviously it's preseason, but you can only play when you play. And the kid can cover, man. And I know. Everybody, it's kind of crazy that you were just talking about Darwin James, as a thumper. I'm going to be honest with you, man. I don't think it's anybody hitting as hard as Kayvon Frazier. That's just kind of what he's kind of meant his knacker for, kind of where he's put his claim in. And, something that he even said that, a lot of time, being known as a hitter, you don't get that, people assume that you just can't cover. So that's one thing that he is aggressively going after this year is to show people that he can be a full-time, full-service corner. But something else that he kind of brought up that, two people that he kind of talked about that, that the nation, doesn't show a lot of love to, but, he felt that, that he feels that we need to be really looking after it. And they're both at the safety position. One's more of a corner, but he actually said Xavier Woods and Jeff Heath. He said, he spoke more about Xavier Woods, but he just said, he just felt, he doesn't get a lot of respect. But he just said going into this year, for us to really be looking for Xavier Woods, everybody's talking about drafting these safeties, we need a safety and, this, that, and the other third. But he said, I thought it was just crazy because he didn't even say his own name. But he said, he said Xavier Woods to be really looking for him to make the move. So I think the Cowboys.
What?
Come on back.
Maybe I think as a fan base, we may be looking, we're higher need for a safety. That's the reason why they did not bring any, because we didn't work out any free agent safeties. We didn't look at trading for any safety, and there was a whole. I would say this year was by the best safety ever. Like when do you have
Tyson, let me ask you this.
Safeties available
Tyson,
at the same time.
Let me ask you.
Cowboys. I mean, that's Earl Thomas and Tyrann Mathieu. And, we really didn't, they say we're going after Tyrann, but who knows, you know what I'm saying? But I think the Cowboys, I don't think the Cowboys are going to go. I don't think the Cowboys are going to go just from talking to him. and just kind of looking at what he was talking about as far as what the Cowboys believe they have at safety, I don't think the Cowboys are going to. I do not believe they're going to draft one. I don't think Jerry Jones wants to spend that type of money on a safety. Like, you got to think, man. I think they're part of the. If all the safeties that we've had, right when they got good, we either didn't sign them or we let them go. You know what I'm saying? Because this is just a position that we don't value. So if we don't value it to the much that we didn't even want to pay Barry Church, who would be cheaper than drafting Darren James, why would we pay more for a Darren James? That probably excludes Earl Thomas. The only reason why I even think Earl Thomas is there because
Tyson, let me ask you a quick question. Before you finish that, because I'm gonna let you talk about Noah Brown right quick. Just to bounce off that, Barry Church was older and he is not no Darren James.
Exactly.
So you're not going to pay that kind of money to a Barry Church, which he was wanting big money. You're not going to pay that to him because he was undrafted or he was like a 6th or 7th round pick. You're not going to do that for a game changing player like a Derwin James. Yes, you will do something like that, and you will keep a guy like that in the fold.
We let go of Jeff. We also let go of Wilcox that same exact year.
J.J. Wilcox is not good. J.J. Wilcox is not good. J.J. Wilcox is not good.
Yeah, but that's our opinion, though. You got to remember.
No, it's facts. It's facts. That's not opinion. That's a fact. He got cut from every team.
Like I said, this is still a guy who came in and was pretty productive on our team. So I'm not going to say that he wasn't good. But what I will say,
he made the NFL, so he was good.
We're talking about if you can get a game-changing safety like that once in a generation, you got to get him.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, if you can get like an Ed Reed or a Troy Polamalu, like a game-changing, like franchise-changing type safety, then you do want to pay that price, in my mind.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. And I'm gonna be when I said Earl Thomas, like he said, man, who wouldn't want to have the opportunity to play with Earl Thomas?
Okay. All right.
So I'm not. This is not anything he said, and obviously I think that they think that they're going to draft this, but I think the safe squad that they have is kind of built for them to bring in someone more older, someone who can kind of help. I think Chris Richard talked about him. Chris Richard is really focusing on the corners right now. I'm not saying he's not focusing on the safeties, but he's really focusing on the corners right now. So, I think that's where our defense. I think that's where they're going to start with our DB, build out. They're going to start with those corners and go back. So, I just think it's as much as I would love to have Darwin James, I don't think they want to pay that type of money for him. But like you said, G, if Earl Thomas is just one of those things you can't pass on.
Well, hey, tell me what's up with Noah Brown.
Noah Brown, we called him. We was talking to him. I kind of just Noah Brown, one thing I like about him is the Cowboys did keep him active. Technically, if you're looking at our roster, technically he's your starting X right now. If we had to play today, like I'm just saying, technically, you know what I'm saying, he would be your starting X. So I mean, I kind of talked to him about his one-hand catches and the things like that. But one thing I liked about Noah Brown is he is a very, and nothing to say about any other people, but he's a very educated kid. Like, he's a very, very smart and intelligent kid. Like, when he talks, he sounded like someone who had been interviewed before, someone who spoke very highly of himself and stuff like that. And one thing that he kept saying is, like, he ended his interview because they had a Michigan Wolverine helmet on the top of the table because they had it signed by Taco Charlton from a couple years ago. Well, last year, obviously. And he was very adamant about not sitting down at that table unless they moved that helmet.
Oh, they're serious about that out here. I mean, we're out here in Ohio, so the Ohio State Michigan is serious. So you got Ohio State players on the Cowboys and Michigan players. So I can only imagine how that rivalry goes. But hey, man, Go ahead.
Let me end it with this. I asked him this question. I said, man, why is it that the Cowboys draft so many kids out of Ohio State? And you know what he said? He said, because the Cowboys know we're the most pro-ready program. And I said, okay.
I mean, we can agree with that. That's what if you're a player, because like I said, we see it out here. We see it, Ohio State football. It's real serious. Taco Charlton played at Pickerington High School out here. It's a very prestigious high school. You dream of getting recruited by Ohio State because when you go to Ohio State, you automatically in your head know that you have a chance to go to the NFL, especially if you're halfway decent. You're going to get a look in the league. Facts. Hello?
Did we lose him?
That's true.
Hey, man, we definitely appreciate you.
Man. I appreciate
you. There?
Yeah, I'm here.
I just want to tell you we appreciate you calling in, telling us about your Kayvon Frazier, Noah Brown interview. Keep on grinding over there. I'm going to see you out there. You're going to be out there. So give a quick shout out and tell us where you're going to be Wednesday and Thursday out there in Texas, because we're going to be out there in the draft.
Hey, well, Wednesday I will be at the Superfan Convention. It will be right there at the Concrete Cowboy. It's put on by Stash Man and a couple other people. You got Wrecking Ball. He's real famous for having the big head things on his head. I forget the exact name one, but that's what they're called. But pretty dope. We'll be there on Wednesday at the Concrete Cowboy, and then most importantly on Thursday, we are having the first annual draft takeover. It's going to be held by myself. I'm going to have JoJo's Replays out there. My boy Akuye is going to be out there. He's just going to be doing just kind of showing people what he does when he breaks down film and stuff like that, just so we can help other people get into the industry. And then, we're going to be doing some live broadcasting. Miss Carolyn Price, Dallas Cowboys #1 fan, is going to be there signing, doing an autograph. We also have a special invite. I'm not going to put it out there yet. You're just going to have to come and see who it is. But I promise you, you will definitely be surprised. But it's going to be a great time from 3 to 7 right there at the Bostons. Off of Lamar. And then other than that, man, I'm just be trying to be where the fans be, man. So, I'll be with y'all, man.
Hey, we're going to be having a good time. It's like everybody's going to be down there. So we're going to be kicking it. And like I said, we're definitely going to link up. What's up?
Can I tell you a little tidbit? I asked a question, right? Because I had to ask them this question. I asked Kayvon and them this question. I said, I asked them, like, the drug program, like, this is a fact that a lot of people don't know, and I just want all of us to know this so that we all know this. They give them 31 days before they test them.
Oh, yeah, I know that. They give them time.
If anybody comes up dirty for drugs, that's on you.
Yeah, it's their fault because they give you time. Like, they give you a lot of time.
They give you 31 calendar days.
It's even in the NBA. It's even easier in the NBA, and they really they let you know way like months ahead of time that this is about to happen. And so if you get caught doing it, something's really wrong with you for real. Like, the chronic can't be that good.
Yeah. I'm in West Coast. Hey, man, I'm out of here.
Hey, man, appreciate you, dog. We'll holler at you out there in Texas in a couple 3-4 days.
Y'all be blessed and thank you, Michelle.
Hey, man, appreciate you.
So obviously he doesn't think the Cowboys should go safety in the first round.
He doesn't think because he loves some Kayvon Frazier. I don't have no problem with Kayvon. I think he's a good player, but you still need to get a game-changing player like Derwin James if you can get him. Competition brings out the best in everybody. You see, that's why Kayvon Frazier said, I want to dispel, I want to prove to everybody that I'm not just a box safety, I can cover. Yeah. I'm sure Jeff Heath wants to go out there and prove that he's the real deal. Xavier Woods wants to prove. But you can't prove when you got other players that are below you that can't make you compete. So go out there and get the players that make you compete. And if you can get a Derwin James and it's not going to kill you as far as picks, go get him, and then let's put the best players on the field. That's what the Cowboys always say. So get the best damn players in the draft and put them all on the field and let's go at it. Because when you look, like I said, when you look at the programs like Ohio State, Alabama, and those football programs, they get the best of the best every single year. And you were a great player your freshman year, but guess what? Next year, you might be gone. You look at what Jalen Butts, or what's his name, the quarterback from Alabama, he was the man his first year. Jalen Hurts his first year. That kid comes in there, that freshman, and blows it up and wins the game. Now he talking about transferring. It's like that.
So let's go ahead and reset here real quick. If you're just joining us or you missed anything from the first part of the show, this is the Silver and Blue Nation live streaming podcast on EBSN Online's Facebook page, but we're simulcast on Silver and Blue Nation, Law Nation, the Dallas Prospect, Big Game James, also over on Silver and Blue Nation YouTube, so make sure you check us out there too. And you can listen to us in the car if you like. I know a lot of people have the Bluetooth now, so that makes it perfect for Google Play and iTunes or SoundCloud. So if you got the phone in your hand while you're watching us, just as soon as you leave your video, just go subscribe right now.
Go subscribe right now.
You got to search EBSN Online, and then you'll find us within their
like milliseconds.
Podcast.
It'll come up.
Also, if you like the video, make sure you give it a like and a share.
A like and a share.
I know we got a ton of comments. Let me take a look over here. We got Hulk Logan who tuned in.
That's my dog.
On Facebook Live. He's in New Jersey.
I love Hulk Logan.
He said, Cowboys in the house. We appreciate you tuning in. Over here on our YouTube channel, we got Stevie Mac 23.
They got the best names, don't they?
Free. There's a lot of cool YouTube names.
Y'all
sure.
got the best names, yo. Cool
Facebook
YouTube
don't
names.
let you do that.
Yeah, Facebook be hating, but
if you try to change your name on Facebook, they won't
be
let
hating.
you.
But man, on YouTube, they got the bangingest names.
Camo Cowboy.
Camo Cowboy.
Let me see here.
Who else
Young Money.
Young Money.
Game Changer.
We know Game Changer, what he does.
Xavier Giles is in with us every week.
Xavier.
Buddy Johnson.
Buddy Johnson. We know our buddy.
Buddy's got a question for you.
I know he was coming.
He got a question for you regarding something in the draft.
See, I knew it.
Well, let me hold that comment.
Hold that, because he's trying to trick me.
We want to get to a couple topics here. And if you guys also want to go over and give us a page rating when you're done with watching this
here,
just a 5-star. If you want to go leave us a 5-star rating, you can do that on our Facebook page.
I've seen a few 4s.
And then go check us out on YouTube. Subscribe there. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Trying to grow that
5.
channel. And
5.
If you're watching on the Law Nation YouTube as well, I'm about to jump over there and I'm gonna start shouting out people over there in just a second.
Let's give them a shout out.
I haven't showed Law Nation's YouTube channel much love yet.
We gotta give Law Nation love.
I'm about to go over there.
Love.
And then if you guys in there, make sure you go to Silver and Blue too. So
yeah. Make sure you check out Law Nation. He's the man.
The Giants released Brandon Marshall this week.
After talking all that
he was saying, Dez Bryant, you can't come here. We don't have room for you. Then they cut him. So does that mean Dez Bryant's going to the Giants?
The Giants are saying that they have no interest, but all the teams all say that we currently have no interest, and then tomorrow they sign the player. So you never believe anything these teams, agents, presidents, coaches, owners, none of them say. Don't believe anything they say because they all lie. They're all smoke screens, especially with this draft coming up. They all definitely lying about everything. So don't believe anything. The biggest thing that everything was in the news that Dez Bryant was doing his little rope things with Odell Beckham Jr. Okay, nobody cares. I still love you, Dez, but that dude, I'm going to just say this about Dez because I jumped out on my Twitter page, and I'm just like, Dez, for somebody who don't care, you show a lot of caring. You keep talking about it and talking about it and talking about it and talking about it. Let it go. I know it hurt. I didn't like seeing it in my heart, but everything comes like this to an end. Just let it go and move on. Get with your new team. If you play the Cowboys, try to destroy the Cowboys. We're going to try to destroy you. That's just the way it is. So stop talking about the Cowboys and worry about your new team now.
So if he was to play with the Giants, how do you think he would fit in there?
I don't know. If they have Brandon Marshall on the outside, I'm sure they can have Dez and Odell on the outside and throwing Sterling Shepard in the slot. So that would be a great game. I'm all for it. Get Dez.
You know what I think, though?
Get him. I don't care. Get him.
Why wouldn't Janoris Jenkins be telling them, like, you guys don't want to sign this dude? He only runs 2 routes.
Man, Janoris Jenkins, but that how they all say that. But then he's the one that's saying, come on over here, Dez. We love you.
Oh, is he saying that?
Yeah, that's what he said. They all say that. They're all going to change their tune when they're on the team. Just like I might hate.
Well, I'm thinking, why wouldn't they advise their team like you shouldn't get this guy?
Who is Janoris Jenkins to be advising anybody?
Because he's going to tell you because he plays against them.
It don't matter. He ain't got no damn say.
The tape shows.
But he ain't got no say.
I'm saying he could tell them. He could influence it. Like even with the Redskins. You think Josh Norman wouldn't be like, you guys don't want him. He's garbage.
Josh Norman's about to get cut from the Redskins soon.
You don't see my point at all.
I see what your point is, but you see my point how management is like, okay, so Josh Norman said something. We're not going to go not get him because Josh Norman said something.
Yeah. All right, well, let us know what side of it you're on in the comment section. In the meantime, we're going to go to the phone line with Derek Kirby from the Dallas Prospect, Diamond Dallas Prospect. What's going on, sir?
Yo, how you guys doing?
What up, DDP? Jumping down off the top turnbuckle.
Yeah, man, yeah.
You see you see my jersey?
I think I heard you say a moment ago that they got Brandon Marshall on the outside. They just actually cut him the other day.
No, we didn't say that. That's not what we said. We said he'd been cut.
I might have misheard it.
You did misheard it. Don't be trying to bust us out on live TV. I thought we was boys here, like for real, bro. I thought we was boys. I'm gonna get at you when this phone call's over.
We're accurate.
That's cool, man. That's cool. I'm a stickler for getting little details.
All right. What's up, man?
Yeah, no, man, I'm good. Just been working on some content for the site and everything, and been running around all day, so I was wanting to jump on here while I had some time.
Hey, well, you ain't got long because it's rapid fire. People already start calling in, but I wanted to bring you in. Hey, I ain't disrespecting when I say that, dog. I love you. But I just want you to come in because I want you to tell us about Dallas Prospect again, everything that goes on with Dallas Prospect. I want you to talk about the Mexico meeting that we got going down next Thursday, and just just a brief intel of what we do all kind of together. What you talk about is DDP.
Yeah, man. So Dallas Prospect is a sports and pop culture website. We are an independent sports entertainment network, basically a collection of writers, broadcasters, podcasters, all that, video content producers who basically come together. And the main thing we do is we have an eye towards Dallas sports. So the bread and butter of the site with you guys, Silver and Blue, Law Nation as well. We got Koya Media, who just came in recently. So Cowboys is a huge factor for us on the website and everything. We're actually going to be doing another live remote this week at Mexico, which you already mentioned. We did a show there last month, and we're going to be doing a first night of the draft, so round one of the NFL draft. We'll be doing a live show there the entire time, breaking down all the draft picks, letting you know how it affects the Cowboys draft board. You'll be in attendance, so Big Game James, we'll have Law Nation, I'll be there, DDP, and we're also going to have our special guest computer from 36 Mafia again. And, yeah, we're going to have a good time. We're just going to break down every pick, let people know how it affects the Cowboys board, and then once they get their pick done, whether they trade up, whether they stay at 19 or trade back, whatever, I'm hoping they don't trade back, honestly. We'll break down that player, let you know if it's a difference maker or if it's just kind of a project player, kind of like Taco Charlton has.
What's happening?
I don't know what's going on with this.
That's not to say he can't be a good guy in time.
Right,
dropping phone calls today.
Hey, DDP. Hey, the phone lines is blowing up, so we got to get these rapid fire people. I love you, dog. I'm glad you called in. It keeps beeping and beeping and beeping. I can't hear that. I don't want to hear the beeps no more. I want the calls to stop. Come on in and let them call in. So stay tuning in. Stay talking, DDP. And then make sure you check out Mexico this Thursday where we're going to be at Me, You, Law Nation Computer. Was going down again. Make sure y'all better be tuning in. Come in if you're the Texas area. We're at Plano, Texas. Come in and holler at us and sit in and let's talk Cowboys football and see who we draft.
Sounds good.
Thanks,
All
dog.
right, I'll let you guys go.
My dog.
All right, let's start it off then. Let's go ahead.
Come on, rapid fire.
You're on the line. Rapid fire. If you've never done this before, give us a call, 866-217-1966. We're just flying in with the topics, so just jump in here and hit us up. Let's light up the phone lines. Go ahead, caller. What's your name?
Hey, what's up, man? It's me, Camo Cowboy.
Camo Cowboy. What's up, dog?
Pretty good, man. Just wanted to say what up. Thanks for taking my call, man. I want to get your guys' thoughts. What you think about big boy with the shirt off, Puna Ford in the late rounds?
I like him. I like him in the late rounds. He came from Texas. That's my team, so I definitely love what he does. He's not a big guy, short, stubby dude, but he's one of them guys kind of like the Lewis Neal we have from LSU. I don't get him higher, but like in maybe a 5th or 6th round, I would definitely would like him. I think he should have got an invite to the combine. He didn't, but I would definitely like him later rounds.
Appreciate your call, Camo.
All right, thanks, man. Have a good one.
Appreciate you, dog. Rapid fire.
Go ahead, caller. You on the line. This is Rapid Fire. What's your name?
KG Gist.
What up, dog?
KG Gist.
What's up, homie?
Chill, man. Give me rapid fire. Give me something.
I just want to know how significant and how urgent do you think that we need to trade up? And I already know the most important positions that we need to have is linebacker or safety. Which is more important to get? Do we stay put, or do it's a must that we have to move up? Thank you.
Thank you, KG.
All right. Well, I told you I love linebacker, my guy Tremaine Edmonds, but with the position that we need right now, I would rather go up and get a safety right now in a Derwin James. He's got my enamored appeal right now because they didn't even talk to Edmonds.
All right, caller, go ahead. You're on the line. What's your name?
Rapid fire.
How you doing, man? My name Montana, man.
What is it?
Hey, man, I just wanted to, my name Montana, man. I just want to know, man, how y'all feel? What's the worst do y'all think can happen this season?
Worst thing that can happen. I'm going to say Zeke tearing the Achilles tendon, being out the whole year. That would be the worst. So I don't even want to say that. So Lord, take that back. So we didn't even hear that conversation.
Hey, we appreciate your phone call.
We appreciate you, man. Rapid fire.
All right, thank you, man. Enjoy.
Yes, sir. Rapid fire.
Go ahead, caller. You on the line?
Uh-oh.
Oh, I thought we did. Okay.
Rapid fire.
Now we're on the line. What's your name, caller?
My name's Manny. I'm from Las Vegas. Just had a quick question for y'all.
All right, what's up, Manny?
The other scene that came out for All or Nothing with Jordan Lewis and Dez Bryant. Just your quick thoughts and what do you think about our backfield this year? I'll let you go.
Appreciate you, Manny. I love it. Oh, I love this. Loved it. When I saw that Jordan Lewis, man, that's my dog. Go on Big Game James. He's my cover page. Since he's been drafted, I loved it, and I love how he's just aggressive. And our defense is gonna be nasty in the back end. Yes.
Rapid
Love
fire.
Jordan
Go
Lewis.
ahead, caller. What's your name?
How's it going?
What's up?
My
What's
name
up?
is Will.
What up, Will?
And I just got a few questions. So let's say we don't get a Derwin James or get an Earl Thomas in, we don't get them in early rounds or we don't trade. How do you guys feel about the two safeties, either Tre'Davious Moore or Deshaun Elliott?
Well, in that first round, no. Later on, I could see that. So if we drafted like offensive guard, which they may go, or maybe a linebacker, defensive tackle, Vita Vea, if they went that route and they got a Deshaun Elliott later rounds, I'm cool with that. But don't go out there and get them in the first round because they're not first round grades.
Thanks for that call, Will. We appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Go ahead, caller. You're on the line. What's your name?
Rapid fire.
Almighty Bones.
What up, Bones?
Mike Jones.
What's up, guys? My question is, do you think with James Hanna out and gone, do you think we ought to go after a tight end like somebody like Mike Gesicki, or you think we should set back and kind of wait for Rico Gathers to dominate? What do you think?
Oh, love the call. First of all,
thank you.
Number one, definitely Mike Gesicki would be definitely a good guy. Another kid named Thomas from Indiana. We definitely should. I think we should still draft a tight end. Now, I definitely do like Blake Jarwin. I thought he had a lot of potential, and I think he's going to have potential next year, but he got hurt last year. But you definitely should go get another tight end because I think that's the one thing holding our offense back.
What about Dallas Goedert?
Oh, definitely him, but we're not going to be able to get him. He's going to be gone before we even touch him.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Isn't Gillislee the guy with – oh, appreciate your phone call, Mike. Thank you.
No, Fumagala's the guy with the finger missing.
Finger missing. Oh, go ahead, caller. You're on with Silver and Blue Nation. What's your name?
Well, this Trey, man. What's up?
Who?
Can barely hear you. What's up?
This Trey, I'm calling from Shreveport, man. What's up?
What's up? Calling from Shreveport. Talk to me. What's the question?
Said Trey.
Hey, man, how y'all feel if we was to trade Byron and pick and get what the cornerback name is? Darius Jackson with 19 pick.
Oh well,
talking about Derwin James.
Yeah. Oh well, like I said, I've been on the Derwin James. I don't know if we would have to trade Byron Jones to do it, but if we had to get a Derwin James, I wouldn't be mad at that at all. I think he's a game changer.
No, I ain't say Derwin James. I say Darius Jackson.
Oh, Darius Jackson. From Iowa.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't think that we do. I don't think we'd have to trade to get him. I think he's a very good corner, but we wouldn't have to trade to get him.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, I know we probably would have to trade, but I know if we were to get him, we probably be able to trade Byron because we'll be loaded.
Yeah, we would be loaded, but I don't know if they would want to get him that high in the draft. You know what I'm saying? If they were to see him later in the draft, probably, but he's going to get drafted high anyway, and I don't think cornerback is our number one priority.
Right. All right, appreciate it, man.
Appreciate your call. So I think that's all we have for rapid fire. So
I like the rapid fire.
If anybody wants to call back in, you certainly can. If you want to chime in and chat with us for a sec. But
I like rapid fire.
Yeah, that was nice. So
I like rapid fire.
We'll have that going every Sunday if you guys want to get in on that. So
please, I like rapid. We're just going fire.
That is pretty cool segment,
ain't it? And it just evolved by itself.
Yeah, that is pretty sweet how that worked out. Let me jump over here into the Law Nation YouTube channel for the first time because I've been kind of. Well, we had a call just right there, but they hung up. So try it again. If you didn't get through, we apologize. We got Elijah Gonzalez, Kai McGyver, Camo Cowboy who called in with us. We appreciate that. Ty Tice, Say Primetime, Cheyenne Maxwell, Darnell Twine. Everybody's tuning in over here on Law Nation's YouTube, and we appreciate you guys. Give us a big thumbs up there. Make sure you subscribe and go subscribe on the Silver and Blue Nation YouTube channel as well. Camo Cowboy said rapid fire is fire.
Fire, it is fire, yo.
It is pretty cool how that worked out.
That rapid fire, we're gonna ball that up and just put it in a little cup in the ingredient and mix it up every week. And we gotta have rapid fire. We gotta do it at a certain time, G. So we're gonna put it together, yo.
So
you know how we gonna do it.
That wasn't planned. It just
that was just fire. It just
itself.
came in just like fire, and just the name. We just did the name on the fly too.
Joey wants to know what linebacker if we go linebacker at 19.
Well, with the linebackers they're talking about right now, Rashaan Evans is a big guy that could be picked because he could fall to 19. He does everything. I wouldn't be opposed to it. He's 6'3". He's 235 pounds. He's not a bad player at all. I wouldn't be opposed if we drafted him in the 19th pick. They're talking about the Vander Esch kid. Please don't do that. Please, in the hell, don't do that. And, Roquan Smith, but I don't think he would fall to 19. The biggest question is, let's say like a Tremaine Edmonds, who the Dallas Cowboys, who did not bring in at all. What if he were to fall at 17?
I think they know he'll go too high.
But what if he were to fall because of these What if he were to fall?
He's a top 10.
What if he were to fall, though? That's why. What would Dallas do? And they haven't even brought him in for a visit. If they passed on him,
doesn't mean
I'd be
they
pissed.
wouldn't draft him, though.
I'd be pissed.
Ryan Holleran over here on YouTube says, "Love you, James. You're the best."
Ooh, I appreciate you.
A lot of big fan base here for Big Game James.
I appreciate y'all. I love y'all too.
The comments are just flying in. I can't even keep up with them over here on Law Nation's YouTube channel.
Hey, Law Nation gives a lot of love, man. They're like the best.
Sure does.
I can't say that we're all the best. You guys are the best. Let me just say that. You're the best.
Say Primetime wants to know how much will Jeff Heath play.
He's going to play a lot. I think they like Jeff Heath. Jeff Heath has made plays. I mean, I was busting on Jeff Heath, and I still don't think he's a starter in the league. I think he's a backup player. But in spot plays, especially if you don't have Jeff Heath starting all the time, he can hit you with them spot plays, especially in coverage, because I think he's more of a coverage safety. He will lay the boom on you now. He will lay the boom. But get Jeff Heath in them spot plays. He gets those picks. He gets those interceptions. You see what he does. So I'm not mad at Jeff Heath. I got a bet with somebody. They bet me $100 with Jeff Heath be starting this year. Hope you've still been listening to the show because I'm not backing off that bet. Because if he's not starting this year, you better own up and pay me my money. That's all I'm saying. I don't remember your name, but you remember the bet. So I want my money.
Marcy Shabazz on our Facebook Live, Silver and Blue Nation, wants some glory hole.
And it is a reminder, I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so having said that, I want me some glory hole.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Everybody loves the glory hole.
Now you're my bitch.
I personally like that one.
All right, actually, we're going to go to the phone line now because I know we had someone else call back in. So you've been holding on the line for a sec. Caller, you can go ahead. What's your name?
Yeah, my name Earl. I was on there before a while ago.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I had a question, man.
Okay.
What happened to the Cowboys? How y'all feel about it? The Cowboys, we stay at 19, and then we surprise everybody, and we get our pick. I'm gonna say Rashaan Evans. We pick him, and then we trade back in the first round, and then we get the D tackle from Alabama, Payne. How y'all guys feel about that?
Darren Payne, I don't know if that would be possible. I don't know how they would do that because Darren Payne, I think, is still going to go in a good pick because of what he did. I definitely love Rashaan Evans. As far as our pick, if they're going to pick a linebacker in that first round, I'm a Tremaine Edmonds guy. But we haven't had an Alabama player in forever since Rolando McClain, and we didn't even draft him. So I am have no problem getting that. I don't know how we would get 2 picks to get both of those guys. I don't know how that would happen. I don't think they would do that. But if we did
it back in 2004.
I don't think they're going to do that though. I just don't see them doing something like that. Well, but you got Stephen Jones running it now. You feel me? I don't feel like Jerry Jones.
To try to win now.
I mean, look at Stephen Jones, how he is a little bit more cautious is what he's trying to do. I don't think he's going to go out there and go first round and jump right back in that first round. I think if he's going to do anything, he'll trade out or trade up and get 1 pick and do it like that. I don't think he's going to try to do multiple trades, trade in the first round and trade back in. I just don't see him.
Well, you know why I said that? Because, like I know, Jerry Jones, he been too quiet, man, for the whole offseason.
Yes.
It's like Stephen Jones been having his whole way.
Right.
So I feel like Jerry Jones, when it comes out to this draft, he got his foot. He gonna want to make an impact, especially in front of everybody.
Yeah, well, I definitely have been saying that. There's definitely something going to happen in this draft. It's not going to be a regular draft for the Cowboys because it's in Dallas. We've been waiting for it forever. It's got a record crowd. You know them Eagles are going to be there trying to talk trash. So I know Dallas is going to do something that's not going to be the ordinary. That's for damn sure.
Hey, Earl.
All right. How y'all feel about the safety from Alabama too? I mean, I'm not an Alabama dude.
Yeah, I can tell you. It sounds like you're an Alabama dude.
I'm actually a Gator fan, but
okay.
But I see, Alabama, they is putting in some work,
Yeah.
How y'all feel about us getting him like in the second round if he lasts?
Hey, Earl, we appreciate that phone call. We're gonna let you hang up here and listen to his answer for that because we got some other calls coming in. So we appreciate it.
All right, man.
Thanks,
we appreciate you, dog.
Thank you.
All right.
So he wants to know what you want to know about the safety.
Minka Fitzpatrick, I don't think he will go in the second round. He's not going to go in the second round. He's too good of a player. Minka Fitzpatrick, that's another player that I'm not. There's probably about 5, 6, 7 players I'm not opposed to Dallas getting in the first round. Just I don't want a receiver in the first round, and I don't want Vander Esch in the first round. Those are the two things that I want. And if the only person on the offensive line, if we get a 19th pick, would be your boy Will Hernandez. I don't mind getting him at 19 because even though I want a defensive player, I wouldn't be, oh, man, they did that. I wouldn't be mad at that. I still want a defensive player because I still think that the defense is what's going to change the game for us. We have offense. We just need to sprinkle players in that offense. We get that one game-changing player on defense is going to change our whole damn team. Facts.
So many comments rolling in from all over the place, YouTube and Facebook Live. We appreciate everybody who's checking it out right now. Death Dealer 615 gives us a $5 donation on Law Nation's YouTube channel. So Law Nation will certainly appreciate that.
Shout out.
And hopefully we're entertaining you guys today talking Cowboys football.
I'm feeling good now.
If
I might dance.
If I'm missing your name or your comment, I apologize. There's just so many, but we're here every single Sunday, so you can always check back in next week if we didn't get to you this week. Check out my 6 Sean or whatever his name is over here on YouTube. He says, how about the punter King from the Raiders? But he actually signed already with the Denver Broncos, so he's not on the market for us, so that would not be an option. Mama T wants to hear some Drew Pearson dissing the Eagles. I tell you what, we'll be here for about 10 or 15 more minutes, and I will end the show with that soundbite. So look forward to that at the end.
Because they're going to try to come hard at us. That's for damn sure.
So we just hit a bunch of topics, a bunch of phone calls.
Let's talk about Randy Gregory.
Let's get back into some topics real quick. Before we hit Randy Gregory, there's a couple of things I want to get to first, and then we'll close it out with Gregory. And we kind of talked about this a little bit with Tyson. Chris Richard compared Kayvon Frazier to Cam Chancellor. Do you see some type of the same comparisons, and do you see him being used that way, or are you reading too much into this? Because what I read into this was he's just saying he compares to him physically.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's saying he has the same skill set.
Let's just put it this way. It's like whatever Chris Richard says right now, he's God. Right. So because he's the new guy, he's the guy that came from Seattle. He came from helped create the Legion of Boom. So anything Chris Richard says right now, we think is the world. I mean, let's be honest. I make a post with him about him putting Byron Jones in this or him doing that. You get 300 likes on the page, on the article. It's because we're all wanting Chris Richard to be the man. So if Chris Richard says, hey, Kayvon Frazier has got some Cam Chancellor like traits, everybody's like, okay, he could be the Cam Chancellor of the defense. No, he's not saying that he's the Cam Chancellor. He's saying that he can lay the boom on you, probably like Cam Chancellor. He'll lay the boom on you. But he's probably not saying he's Cam Chancellor yet. I don't think he's saying that
at all. He's not saying that at all.
I don't think he's saying that.
People are going to jump to that conclusion, though,
and they
like
shouldn't.
What you said.
They shouldn't. Because we got to still see what Kayvon Frazier can do. Hey, I'm all for Kayvon Frazier going out there and proving everybody the hell wrong and taking that spot and being the man. You know what I mean? That's only going to make our team better, isn't it? It's not going to hurt our team if you get better and take that spot and be the man. But at the end of the day, I still want top-notch competition. I want the best of the best out there, and I don't want them just to rest on the laurels and say, hey, we just got Kayvon Frazier and Jeff Heath and Xavier Woods, and we're okay. No, we are not. Not in my opinion. We're not.
So here's the question that I'm going to pose to you now, and I'm going to pose this to everyone watching as well. You can leave it in the comments.
Hawaii in the house.
it's going to be simple. It's going to be a 2-option answer. Should the Cowboy, and you might not agree with these positions that I have up here because you might go in a different direction, but based on the biggest needs right now, should the Cowboys draft a wide receiver or a safety if you could choose one of the two in the first round?
Safety. Offer the muscle safety. Don't get a receiver in the first round. You don't need to do it. You don't need to do it, and I'm going to repeat, you don't need to do it. They're going to be receivers late. They're not going to snag 15 receivers in the first round. You're going to get some quality, nice guys in the second, third. You're going to find them. They always find them. Every year you find receivers in the draft, man. Especially you can find them later. Those gems, those guys that nobody hears about. How many times, especially the receiver position, those guys that are slept on, come out of nowhere. What's the kid from freaking Minnesota? Thielen or whatever his name is, man. I mean, those guys.
Even his counterpart,
right?
Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs. I mean, those guys.
Fourth rounders. You
can find those guys, so we don't have to reach and go get a receiver. But yes, you got to go get a Derwin James if you can get him.
Yeah, I think that would be more of a game changer than a wide receiver.
Yes, we don't need a.
I mean, you said it a lot, and it's proven in NFL history, especially recently.
You don't need number
Think
ones.
about the teams that win Super Bowls. You don't really see a
dominant number one receiver anymore. You don't see it.
Not teams that win.
Mm-mm.
Think about Julio Jones, Antonio Brown. Are they winning Super Bowls?
No.
So we're talking about receivers then. What round should Sutton be picked? Because I feel like we might actually get him because of the visits and
I think they're going to go after him.
I've been hearing comparisons of Baby T.O. or Baby Brandon Marshall or something like that.
They've been saying Baby Dez too. I don't want a third rounder for him, but I don't think he'll last that long because of the size, the potential. You know, people are going to reach for that potential, so he's not going to last to the third round. If they were to get a Sutton, and I know they're probably going to try to go after him, I'm looking like they might go after him like in the second round. I wouldn't be surprised if Dallas went after Sutton in that second round because they are really converting him or covet him. That's the word. They covet him deeply. If you're going to the only one visiting, and then he's the last person coming in your pre-draft visit, and you keep talking about this kid, where there's smoke, there's fire. So, is that the saying?
Yeah, that's the right saying.
Okay,
where there's smoke, there's fire.
Okay,
yeah.
I just want to make sure.
So, like basically, what I just said, like they're visiting, they're the only ones visiting with them. They're holding private workouts, this and that, showing lots of interest. So that will be the smoke, and the fire will be you're going to draft them.
Right.
So now we'll talk a little bit about what you wanted to talk about. Randy Gregory is able to apply for reinstatement now, right?
Yes, he's.
So yeah, go ahead. So what kind of impact, if he can come back, what's he going to do? What's going to happen with the whole situation?
Well, first of all, I've been on the Randy Gregory train. You know that since we met, G. You can attest to that I've been on the Randy Gregory because you've been more pessimistic than I have because you've always said, well,
we just haven't seen.
Yeah, we just haven't seen eye to eye. But on that because you said we haven't seen him.
I'm saying we
we haven't seen. He hasn't been on the field, so
yes,
you can't go on because we ain't seen on the field. But I just feel like he's that guy that can change our defense on the front. He's our right defensive end that we need. We have too many left defensive ends. We need that strong right defensive end. He's the guy that has the elite size, the bend. That's what you talk about, the elite bend. When you look at these defensive ends, when they're talking about a Harold Landry that the Dallas Cowboys could possibly go after, we didn't talk about him today. Landry is a guy because of DeMarcus Lawrence. He may not be with us. So he has that elite bend, and that's what really gets me excited. And now we've been hearing that he hasn't failed a drug test since July of 2016. That's huge.
Huge.
And now he has a baby. He's a father. He's doing things productive. That's huge. Now they're talking about bringing the case forward to the reinstatement. So you have a little hope. You don't believe all the way. But if you hear those type of things, then you want this kid to be a success story more than anything else. But if he can actually get on the field more than success off the field, but if he can actually get on the field, I feel like he's still going to be a game changer. Even though he's been away from the game, he's still only 25 years old. And you saw when he played in the last game of the season against Philadelphia a couple years ago, 8 tackles, 1 sack, and you just saw the oozing potential once again.
I mean, I feel like I'm a broken disc or something because we talk about this a lot, and I just keep saying the same thing. Like, you just got to lower your expectations for this.
It's true.
So, I mean, that's what it really comes down to. Like, sure, he's exciting. It could come back and make, some type of plays. He was a second-round pick, so that was kind of big. But, expectations will be kind of high for him when he is in there. So, But don't expect him to be on the field. Just take it like you did Jalen Smith.
Take it like Jalen Smith. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard.
Maybe if he does get back this year, don't even expect nothing huge from him. I would expect the next year because he's still got to get back in football shape.
I'm going to be honest with you. If he gets back on the field this year, he's going to do work. I just feel it.
He might do some disruptive stuff, but I just don't see him doing 10 sacks or nothing like that.
Maybe not 10 sacks, but I could definitely see him getting a 5 or 6 piecer in his first year back. I could definitely see that.
Couple other quick nuggets. There were some workouts at the Star, right? We've seen Alan Hearns and some pictures.
Yeah.
Ryan Switzer.
I told you that combo is going to be nasty. I think Alan Hearns is going to be good for us too.
Voluntary workouts.
We got a good receiving core right now for what we're trying to do for Dak Prescott. We need that tight end.
It's friendly for him.
It's definitely friendly for him. We need that tight end. We need that tight end, either Rico. And something that stood out, I wanted to tell you about, Stephen Jones said that he wasn't high on Rico Gathers. He was saying he's still a work in progress, and that Blake Jarwin was the guy that they were really excited about, not Rico Gathers any longer. That's telling to me, and that tells me Rico Gathers, you can get cut because, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with having stuff outside of football. There's nothing wrong with having a life. You don't want to be football consumed 24/7, but when you go from 1 year to all football to the next year of record labels, having money, counting stacks, and that's all I see. Well, you don't think Stephen Jones and those guys see that too? They see your Twitter. If we see it, they see it.
I'm not happy with the off the field
You know what I'm saying? So
he's too not focused on football.
It's not focused. So when I hear Stephen Jones saying Blake Jarwin is the guy that we're looking at, now I see that, guess what? You're a 6th-round pick. We can still cut you.
Right. So we've been mentioned, and obviously you see on the screen there, James Hanna retired, had to retire from injuries, couldn't get that knee feeling good. He played a little bit last year, but apparently
one touchdown
him again. So one career touchdown came
and
from
that
Dak
was against the Rams.
Against the Rams, a game that should have been won, but unfortunately it was a loss.
And we got him out of the 4th round, didn't we? Out of Oklahoma.
Yep.
And I thought he was actually going to do something. I saw him at Oklahoma. I said, okay, now we got a tight end that can help Witten. And guess what? Fall by the wayside like all the rest. So can somebody from the tight end position, or can we get somebody from the tight end position to please step the hell up? And please, I love Jason Witten, but he needs to be able to take a step back. We need dynamic tight end out there on that field, man. Now, not yesterday. Now,
JD Kersey in Facebook Live says tight ends are deep in this draft. As long as Witten is there, we're not going to be taking any early picks.
It's some BS for real.
Agree with that.
It's some BS for real.
Since we're talking about draft, and I know we've been talking about the draft a little bit today, and you're going to be going there yourself. You'll be there. There's expected to be a record crowd in Dallas.
200,000.
270K. The stadium won't even fill that much.
That's
so the
crazy.
stadium will be packed, and it'll be packed outside. So
I mean, we
good
went
luck
to
you, sir.
You saw how we was at the Philly game, and that wasn't packed like this.
No, that might have been 100K.
You feel me? Now I don't even think it was 100K.
I think it might have been.
You think? I don't think so.
I think the thing holds over 100. So
it does, but
I think it was packed. It was sold out.
We'll see, but it ain't gonna be nothing like this. You will be aggravated. I'm probably going to be aggravated and upset and mad.
That's why I say good luck to you, sir. As you can see,
let's talk about your trip before we get out of here, because we're going to get. Let's talk about.
I'm about to get to all the closing.
Oh, okay.
As you can see right now,
you're using the hands.
The schedule's back up on the screen, so that's kind of what we started the show with. So here it is. If you can see it, I know you got to squint a little bit to look at it. It's kind of small.
I do, because my eyes are terrible.
But there it is. If you can see it, that's the schedule that's been released. We kind of went over it earlier. We're both thinking somewhere between like 10-6, 12-4, somewhere right in the middle there. So
I got one answer. I got one question.
Yeah.
Quick. My bad. Hulk Logan so I want to make sure I didn't miss any questions, because I may have missed a lot of questions on here today. If I have, please forgive me, and I apologize to everybody that was listening. Please forgive me. But Hulk Logan asked one last thing. What do we think about Noah Brown? Can he become something?
Just tune in next week.
Yes. Noah Brown was a 7th-round pick. He's climbing an uphill battle. I've been seeing him doing a lot of work with that Guru Anderson guy. Been doing a lot of work with him. I'm rooting for Noah Brown, but I can't tell you what he's going to do. I'm just saying I'm rooting for him. But if we still got Katie Cannon, and if we get a couple of receivers in the draft, it's going to be he's going to have an outstanding camp to me in my eyes.
I think with Dez Bryant being cut, it definitely helps secure his spot a little bit more. But prior to Dez being cut, I felt like Deontay Thompson was brought in to compete with Noah Brown for that final receiver roster spot, most likely. So I don't know if Dez being gone and we don't draft another guy, now he probably has a spot. But I think if we draft a guy anywhere kind of high in the draft, like 3rd round and up, then I believe it's right back to that scenario where it's going to be Noah Brown versus Deontay Thompson for that final receiver spot.
We're going to see. It's going to be
but there still could be moves made. Cole Beasley could still be moved. Terrence Williams, maybe. I don't know. There's still things to be done with the receiving core.
Things can happen, and a lot of things can happen. The thing I like about it is going to be a lot of competitive spots. Can we hit one last thing? I've been thinking about it, and I've been hearing a lot of Cowboys fans been talking about it, and it needs to be addressed. Tyrone Crawford needs to get cut this year.
Tyrone Crawford, yeah.
Tyrone Crawford needs to get cut this year. I've kind of swayed away from it.
That's the last bad contract on the team.
He's the last bad contract. He needs cut this year. I've been thinking back and forth with it. What are we losing if we cut Tyrone Crawford? Nothing. Dallas is not falling off if we cut Tyrone Crawford right now. I know we can save some money by cutting him. We need to cut him or trade him now. He doesn't need to be on the team any longer.
Jod H over here on Law Nation's YouTube says Crawford's a free agent next year, but I don't even want to eat that.
Why
money
we don't
this
need
year.
to wait? You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. They're not going to re-sign him.
It makes sense, like it did
cut
with
him.
Dez. It made sense. So.
Cut him. Just like what do the Patriots do right before their contracts are up? They cut him or they trade him. They always do that. So this is the prime time to cut Tyrone Crawford or get something for him, but he needs to go this year. He cannot be on the roster this year. He needs to go.
Let's give some final shout-outs before we get out of here and wrap it up. We got Chris Conley over here, Charles Edwards. I'm looking in Law Nation's YouTube channel, MJ Lenore. Maybe that's Lance Lenore's cousin. I don't know.
That'd be nice.
Oh, no. His name's LJ. He just said Lenore is a bum. Okay. He was talking about Lance Lenore. Richard Turner, he said Crawford's a bum. Yes, he is. MJ said Crawford's a bum. Nobody likes Crawford.
There's one person said they like Crawford. I'm going to grab him. Hold up.
Stevie Max said Crawford needs to go back to the inside and take a pay cut or just get cut. Joey S. said, in Stephen Jones we trust. Hey, we appreciate everybody who checked us out today. Make sure you go and subscribe and like and share the video and all that good
Please
stuff.
do.
Subscribe on YouTube. Leave us page ratings.
5.
Subscribe on
No
SoundCloud,
4s, please.
iTunes, Google Play, all the social media platforms. We're here every single Sunday at the same time, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So if we missed you, your comment or your call or anything that you had, if we didn't shout your name out, make sure you tune back in next week. And
Daniel.
Speaking of next week, that's kind of what we're going to get to. I won't be here for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to Hawaii for a couple days, and then
You're lucky ducky.
A Navy cruise ship to San Diego, and then from there I'll be coming back here to Ohio where we are now.
Lucky ass.
So we'll see what happens as far as the show next week.
There will be a show because the draft.
Something will happen next week for sure, so make sure you're back with us at the same time.
G won't be here with Big Game. James going to be here, and I'm going to be flexing and lexing and all the nexing because we're going to be talking about the draft players that we picked. So we don't know where it's going to be or how it's going to be. It may be hood style, okay, Mr. Don, or if you're out there listening to me, it may be hood style, but I will be there.
Real fast. JD Kersey asked, do you like any day 3 running backs?
I'm going to be honest, I haven't really looked at any running backs. The biggest guy that I want them to try to get was that name kid from, I believe, NC State. They brought him in for a visit. He's got like 4.3 speed. He's nasty punt returner. There's another kid from Arizona State, Baldridge, I believe. I don't know his name. I'm sorry if I don't. Those will be the guys I would like for a late-round pick. Small type of shifty back. But I believe I also got to figure out what they think. What's the kid from the Detroit Lions? I believe they're getting rid of him or cutting him.
Alexis Fonseca likes Nyheim Hines.
That's what I'm talking about, Nyheim Hines. But Abdullah from
Amir Abdullah from Nebraska. Yeah, he
from the
Nebraska.
Lions. I believe they're going to get rid of him. That would be a great pickup for us as well as a backup to Zeke.
Yeah, it's a backup. Yeah.
You wouldn't like Amir Abdullah?
I'd be all right with a backup. Yeah.
A nice backup. He'd be a good change of pace.
Camo Cowboy wants people to go subscribe to his YouTube channel. So if you want to help him out, go subscribe to Camo Cowboy. He tunes in with us. He called in earlier.
And he's got a great name.
And we appreciate you, Camo.
Cowboy.
That's going to wrap up the show for this week. Did you have any type of final thoughts? And Mama T, you're about to get your Drew Pearson, so hang in there for that.
No, just the final thoughts is safe travels to my dog, producer G. Have a great time out there in Hawaii. I'm jealous as hell. You're going to be on a boat, too, just kicking and have a good time with your family.
I'm nervous, though, man.
Don't worry about it, dog. You'll be all right. I put the hand of God over you. I prayed over you today.
Appreciate that.
So we're definitely good about that. And then we'll be heading out there. Me and Mama will be heading out there to Texas, my state, for the draft. We're all going to have a good time. So just make sure you keep tuning in. We love everybody. Thank you for the crowd that we had today, the tuning in, as usual, from Law, Silver and Blue, EBSN, from everywhere. We just appreciate all y'all. Those are always my last thoughts. We love y'all, and without y'all, we would be nothing. So we appreciate y'all.
You can echo that from me as well. And I'll see you guys in a couple weeks. And until that time, I'm that's Big Game James. That's Big Game James. And the show's over.
To announce the Dallas Cowboys selection, please welcome the University of Tulsa wide receiver, Drew Pearson.
All right. How about them Cowboys? I want to thank the Eagle fans for allowing me to have a career in the NFL. Thank you. I am honored as an undrafted free agent to be selected to make the Cowboys second-round draft pick, and on behalf of the five-time world champion Dallas Cowboys, Hall of Fame owner Jerry Jones, Gene Jones and the Jones family, Coach Jason Garrett, all the Cowboy players that played before me, that played with me, and played after me, with the second pick, 60th pick